right, welcome back to One Bills Live. Chris Brown, Steve Tasker, and the Hall of Famer Thurman Thomas joining us in studio, as he does on a weekly basis. You have a good Christmas, Thurman?
Had a great Christmas.
Yep. Everybody in?
Everybody's in. Yeah. All the grandbabies and just one big.
Awesome.
Yeah. And now, I'm trying to call my friends and be like, hey, I got a lot of trash. I need to find a dumpster.
Can I borrow some space in your can this week?
Because
it is to your curb today.
Oh man,
My garbage pickup day is Monday, and obviously with it being Christmas, it got pushed to Tuesday. Am I thinking about garbage day on Tuesday? No, because it's not my day. Almost.
Oh.
I'm running out there in my shorts and a T-shirt, barefoot, dragging the can out there as the truck's coming up the street.
I had to make like 3 trips to the curb this for ours.
That's forever. Because the National Guard rolls in at your house, and you got an army. Can't even imagine what I can't imagine what your family can produce.
It's like the Persian army, basically.
That's what I'm saying. You need your own sanitation department.
All right, enough pleasantries. Thurm,
what up?
How much angst was there in the Thomas household when it was like 19 to 20, 19 to 21 or whatever it was, and the Bills had to get the ball down?
Terrified. I mean, it was.
They don't make it easy.
No, they don't make it easy. And I'm sitting there going like, come on, man, we got this. I'm like, we're going to do it. We're going to do it. Not another moment in our history where,
right.
There's no Herbert, no Keenan now. Yeah, we got enough of those, right?
Yeah,
I'm like, you know what? No, I was feeling it, but I was like, you know what? I don't feel as bad. After the Kelsey in Kansas City, I was like kind of even killed. I was like, all right, I think we got this. Yeah.
Okay.
I think because you think about this, how many times has it came down to this from them guys in the last 3 or 4 years? Something like this, But I'm just saying, though, it's just playoffs. Mentally, you kind of figure, like, what bad could go wrong for us?
Right.
I think that's,
They've lost a number of games. We always talk about they always lose games by, like, 1 score, and it's already close, and it's always the quirkiest thing.
Right.
Like, the fumbled quarterback sneak or 4th and 18 where the defender has it all over it, and he helps the guy catch the ball.
Right.
The Hail Murray.
Yeah.
The 12 men on the field.
I mean, you can go back to the
let's go. Here we go. Music.
You're naturally worried they're going to reinvent another way.
Yeah, there's going to be some.
Right?
And listen, the last lateral play, a couple of people are like going, "Oh my gosh, if that guy would have cut the wrong way." We had nobody over there. I was like,
they're inside their own 30. I wasn't terribly worried on that play.
It's that kind of atmosphere where you think, if it's gonna be something new, right? So, but they did. They hung on. They won it.
Yeah.
And then 3 or 4 other games fell the right way this week.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you go from 11th 2 weeks ago to 5th.
Is it
or 6th?
Is it true that I think I heard somebody say that we could possibly get the 2nd seed?
Well, that's still out there because you would need Miami to lose to Baltimore this week.
That could happen.
It's in Baltimore, that game.
That's going to happen.
And then you've got.
Oh, you're calling it.
New
Okay.
England. You got to beat New England.
You got to,
You got to win out.
Yeah. Oh, New England's a playoff game. No matter
the
what,
last
from here
couple
on
have
out.
been pretty much.
I mean, I could have said it last week or the year
or the
before,
week before.
but you know what? This is this is the wild card game right here.
Coming out of the Chargers game, Thurm, there was some outside observer criticism that the Bills stuck with the run game too much and didn't put the ball in Josh's hands enough because the run in the past was pretty much dead even. I think it was 20-20 or 20-21. Josh only had about 21 pass attempts, and they ran it 20-something times. Based on how that game looked, do you think that criticism is justified?
I think it's justified a little bit.
So Josh should handle the ball more to determine the outcome of the game.
Nothing.
Well, especially when we were down 10-0.
Right, especially
I would
when
agree
we were
with
down
that.
10-0. Yeah, I want the ball in this. Yeah. Hey, the running game was great last week. I mean, Cook finished with 70 yards off of 20 carries. Probably should have had.
They were ready for that tackle pull play.
Yeah,
the Chargers were very ready for that.
So you
And
know,
had an answer for it.
So yeah, if his carries would have went down to 10 to 11 instead of 20, I'd have been fine with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we fell in love with it for 1 week, right? And we thought that okay, it's going to be totally different.
Right.
Now, also, too, it might have been a much different outcome had you not had a fumbled punt. If they wouldn't have fumbled the one run, and then Josh didn't throw. You know, if you're -3 on the turnover margin, that game plan probably would not have had the close ending that it would have had you not turned it over 3 times, which
Right.
has nothing to do with running the football. In fact, it seems you'd be safer running the football.
Yeah.
But you coughed it up
Coughed it up
twice,
twice,
lost
yeah.
one of them,
Yeah.
and then fumbled a punt or muffed a punt
Yeah.
at the other end, and Josh threw an interception.
Yeah.
All of that stuff goes into it as well. So I don't know that the outcome being as close as it was had as much to do with the running the ball or throwing the ball as it did turning the ball over.
Yeah, I mean, I thought at the beginning of the game, that it looked like they were trying to force the run. Like, we're going to get it done.
Right.
We're going to get it done. We're going to get it working like we did last week.
Right.
And obviously with the Chargers having game film on that and seeing that, they're like, and they got a pretty stout front four. I
Right.
mean, we were sometimes running at Mac, and that got destroyed. We were running away from Parsons last week or 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
That was great. And even when they ran toward him, I mean, he's a little guy. You put a 300-pounder on him, you're going to get movement if your tackles are,
Right.
you know, Spencer Brown and Deion Dawkins. You're going to get movement, and that creates space. So different type of four-man front here when you're talking about the Chargers.
And it's different again this week because you got
Exactly.
a Patriots defense that plays a fair amount of 50 front, and they're also the number 2 run defense in football.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a group that likes stopping the run game. What do you remember what your guys' approach typically was when you're kind of facing that 50 front? Like what typically did you like working against that with?
I think it was mostly I think it was a combination of maybe who was on the outside.
Okay.
Like if it was Jason Taylor, well, you know what? Probably more run at him more than anything.
Well, yeah, because he was
If
only
it's
like
Lawrence
235
Taylor, right?
pounds.
230. Yeah, if it's Lawrence Taylor, I'm probably gonna, if it's Lawrence Taylor, Pepper Johnson, or Harry Carter, it's like, well, pick your medicine.
Yeah.
Do you want to go inside or do you want to go outside?
good luck, buddy.
Good luck with that, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's see if Carl Banks can catch a screen or something.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's different, but it's different with every football team, and I just think that's kind of the way that you have to look at it. Is you different runs for different packages and go with what's best.
You come into this game, going to be at home. Last 1 o'clock. Well, at least first 1 o'clock game they've had in
Long time.
Since like week 6.
yes, for 2 months. Back here at the stadium against New England
Week 4. Now that I'm thinking
brings
about
brings like a lot of scar tissue for this team. Because they've ruined the party a bunch, New England. And
Well-
even though they are 2-12,
But don't forget
or whatever
this.
they are.
The Bills ruined their party last year. They eliminated them from the playoffs in the Nyheim Hines kick return game. Patriots were still alive for the postseason, but by virtue of that loss against the Bills, they knocked them out.
Right.
Yeah.
I got to be thinking they're thinking that coming in here, right? Like, I know it's a year ago and the team's changed a little bit, but
Yeah, I'm
Belichick's probably bringing that up this week.
Yeah, I'm probably if I'm the Patriots, yes, you have Belichick. He's going to come up with a wrinkle or whatever, but
Yeah.
I think this is where we talked about earlier. Josh's going to handle the ball.
Yeah.
He's going to
Yeah.
handle the ball a lot. to
They've
make
won
it,
2 of their last 3.
Who?
The Patriots. They beat the Steelers.
Okay. Oh,
They,
well, okay.
they lost to the Chiefs and they beat
Steelers,
the Broncos.
really? Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
And they beat the Broncos
And
on
they
the
beat
road.
the Broncos
And they
on the
beat
road.
Broncos
last
on the
week.
road.
They,
Yeah,
won,
that's going down.
they won in Pittsburgh and they won in Denver. And they lost by 10 to the Chiefs at home.
Okay.
So they got the Bills and the Jets coming up. 2 teams they know better than anybody. I worry about this game. I worry about this game more than I worry about the Miami game because Miami, Josh just puts the cape on and Miami goes away. Josh owns those dudes. Okay, they just play well. It's just the opposite of what the New England Buffalo game is.
Right,
It's the
right.
opposite of that.
Is that because of how the Week 7 game went that you're worried now? Because
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay.
Because they've shown they can
because
do it
prior to
against this
that,
group.
the Bills have done pretty good
Done
against the
good, yeah.
Patriots.
I'm taking the Bills on
So,
that game.
you know, yeah, I mean, you got to. I mean, they're 3-4 14.
4-11.
4-11. Okay.
Come on.
They're 4-11. And
Well,
they-
one of those wins is against the Bills, so I understand why you're a little concerned.
And the other win is one of the other wins is against the Jets, and the other win, so they have yet they. What are you looking at? Oh, you're looking back at the stats for the Bills Patriots game.
Yeah.
25-29. Patriots win at home. Stevenson.
Last second touchdown to Gesicki.
They had 60, 80, like 100 yards, right at 100 yards rushing.
Mac had his best game of the
Mac
year.
had
probably.
272, 2 touchdowns,
Probably his
no
best game of the year.
interceptions. Yeah, they didn't bench him after that game.
Yeah.
And, Kendrick Bourne had 6 for 63.
But he's out for the year.
Ramondre had 6 for 51.
Yeah, he's been out of the lineup.
The
I don't know if he's
Bills-
coming back this week.
Now you're trying to worry me. You really are trying. I don't
Yeah.
think there's nothing to worry about.
Get on the worry boat.
I
with
really
me.
don't think it's nothing to worry about.
Get on
I
the
mean,
worry boat.
we gave him
Don't
the
give
last
him
time
a
we were
worry
there
boat order row. What are you
his
doing?
300th victory. So that's enough right there. The last time we played up there and they beat. That was his 300th victory, right?
I remember that
Yes,
now. See?
that is
Yeah,
correct.
Okay,
See?
yeah. Well, I'm upset that we gave him. Let's give him another loss because
Yeah.
he's up there in losses now too. Let's
Oh,
give
yeah.
him another loss. So
Oh, he's closer to the great more losses.
The all-time
than he
loss record.
yeah,
then.
Then he is
so
the wins.
I am. I don't. Yeah, Josh has got to beat a man this game, unless somehow we find that we can run the ball. But
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I think Josh has to be more effective right away instead of doing maybe running 2 plays, run plays, and then having Josh
Yeah.
throw on 300. I think you go with Josh Allen the first probably 12 plays.
Okay, let me ask you this. The last few weeks, there has been a different player in the passing game kind of stepping up and delivering plays.
Yeah.
It hasn't been Steph Diggs and everybody else for a while now. And some people see that as troubling because their number one receiver can't be productive. Other people see it as, this is a more difficult Bills offense to defend because you don't know who's stepping up this week. Do you think there's any validity to that? Do you think they are more difficult to defend because it's a different guy every week? It's Kincaid this week. It's Gabe Davis last week. It's James Cook 2 weeks ago. How do you defend this offense?
And who does that remind you of? A similar team. I'll just tell you, the Giants.
Okay.
It reminds you of the Giants and how they went with, who was it? Mario Manahan one week.
The
Victor
Eli Manning
Cruz,
Giants
yeah,
you're talking
the,
about.
Yeah, the Eli, yeah. The Cruz,
Yeah, Victor Cruz.
Victor Cruz. It was always a different guy. And then, boom, who made the touchdown? Well, I can't remember his name now. Wide
talking
receiver
about?
number 17.
You're talking about the Super Bowl now?
Yeah, Super Bowl.
Plaxico.
Plaxico, right?
Yeah,
They had guys, they did it every week. Now, hey, I want Stefon to get 10 catches a game because I
Yeah.
like the way he plays. I like the way he's performed. He's aggressive. He's him, right?
Yeah.
He's him. So, yeah, I think it's great that you can put more on film now to see. But I think, yeah, sooner or later he has to pop out of his slump or whatever you want to call it.
The all-time losingest head coaches in the
He
NFL.
went right forward, didn't he?
Yeah. It's Dan Reeves. He was 190 and 165, and Jeff Fisher was 173 and 165. 165 losses. Bill Belichick has 163.
Well, you need to have 164.
He could set it this season if he loses out.
Well, tell that to the Bills.
Come
and
on,
whoever-
man.
Well, tell it to the Bills and tell it to whoever they play the following week, the Jets.
The Jets.
Yeah, tell it to these two teams.
Whose streak against the Jets is still alive. It's 15 in a row. Jets still haven't
Where is
ended
that
that
game?
streak. It's the longest active losing streak in the league.
Is it in the Meadowlands or?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I can't remember. And Zach Wilson is not back. He's still in concussion protocol. Trevor Simeon's supposed to start this week again. Snapdragon apples are available now at Wegmans and other local retailers. Fuel your day with Snapdragon apples, the official apple of your Buffalo Bills. All right, Thurman, Leonard Fournette. Fans had been clamoring for him to get in the lineup. Ty Johnson's down with the shoulder injury. He's active for game day against the Chargers last week. What were your initial impressions of Lenny?
It's not the playoffs yet.
Okay.
He's playoff Lenny. I mean, he's going to need more.
So he was not in playoff form yet.
No, I don't think so. I mean, I know he's been
Hadn't
here.
played all
for-
year.
Yeah, he hasn't played all year. He's been here for, 2 months now?
Yep.
Yeah, just hey, look, I mean, Cook has been playing well. Murray's been playing well. You know what? Just continue to let him get his reps, with the scout team or regular offense or whatever. So, yeah, I mean, there was really the same with Cook. There was really nowhere to run last week.
Right.
There was really nowhere to run.
Yeah, the most successful runs they had were the 2 touchdowns by Josh, one on a that power tackle pull, and then the quarterback sneak. So,
yeah.
I was interested, and we were talking about this in the break. I think the one thing they've got to do with Fournette, if they want to crescendo at the right time to get into the tournament postseason, I do believe he needs some reps in game.
Yeah.
I think you got to.
So you want him up this week, Steve?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how Ty Johnson is.
He
I
was
like
limited,
Ty Johnson.
Ty Johnson limited in practice today. We'll see what it is.
If you're
tomorrow.
going to have Fournette up, get him ready and get some game reps so he's ready.
He's ready.
And I mean, and give him some plays.
Give him some plays. Yeah, some
And
plays that
let him have
he
some
wants
success.
to run, that he can have success at. Not just pounding right between the tackles and the guards all the time.
Maybe Joe Brady's doing this. I don't know.
Right.
But we've seen this coaching staff, like when a guy comes down and you put another guy in, and it's natural. Let's run the plays that we were running with the other guy because they were working. Let's let this guy run them. And what is a better way to do it is this guy is better at doing other run the new guy's plays.
Right. Yeah.
Right. Give him a role that fits him instead of trying to fit a guy into the guy they replaced's role.
Round peg in a square.
Right. So I don't know if they're doing that. And particularly, I'm sure they didn't go in there thinking Leonard Fournette's going to carry it 15 times, 20 times.
Yeah.
But still.
Yeah.
And let's face it, too, the offense had been rolling a little bit, and they've got this run game that's working. They probably didn't want to mess with it too much, despite who was carrying the ball.
What was you? Yeah. I think it was. Yeah, it was. The game wouldn't expect it. What did he get? 5 carries for 20 yards.
It's good average. Yeah. He had a long
for a guy that hasn't been.
Yeah, he had a long of 9.
Yeah.
But it was he did not just go out there and fall down.
Yeah.
He ran hard and was productive. Yeah.
All depends on how Ty is. I think I don't know if you'll see more of him, but he's going to be that guy as long as Ty shows up.
I have no problem with Ty Johnson.
I have
man.
no
That
problem
guy's
with Ty
playing
Johnson.
good.
I'm glad he's here. Glad he's here. He's had a really solid year this year, backing up James Cook. So yeah, it's the running back group, baby. If we can touch the ball anytime, let us know. Yeah.
Right.
Speaking of running backs, since Bailey Zappi's been in the lineup, Zeke Elliott's been catching a lot of passes out of the backfield. He's, he'll play pretty conservatively between the 20s, Zappi will, and he utilizes the tight ends and the backs an awful lot in the passing game. Zeke's catching a lot of balls since Zappi's been in the lineup. Also, let's not forget Stevenson's been injured, but he's been using his backs a lot in the pass game, and he uses his tight ends a ton in the red zone. And the Bills actually lost the game to a tight end pass in the red zone. Mike Gesicki on the last play of the game. Mm-hmm. So, talk to me. I mean, we all know you caught your fair share out of the backfield. How did teams try to defend you, knowing how often they turn to you to do that?
How often they try to defend me?
Well, what would they use against you to try to slow
usually,
you down? Because you can't put a linebacker on you.
Yeah. Well, you can't do that. Usually, put a defensive back on me. Yeah. Or sometime it was a strong safety.
Yeah.
If we're playing like a particular team, if we're playing the Dolphins, I would love it. They put Louis Oliver on me.
Yeah.
But they put Jarvis Williams on me. So they'll bring the strong safety down, which he was. And that or sometimes it was a linebacker. It all depends on who the linebacker was.
Right.
Now, if you had like a Cornelius Bennett, I got to go against Cornelius all the
Matt
time.
Milano.
Or Matt Milano, yeah, exactly. So, but you bring in that 5th or sometimes even 6th defensive back.
Well, the Patriots play 3 safeties a lot.
Yeah.
So,
and just hear that stat about them being number 2 rush defense.
Yeah.
That
number
goes a
1
long
in yards
way.
per carry.
That goes a long way when you're talking and you put it in terms of who they're substituting in and how many guys they cover. I mean, Jarrell Peppers is probably having his best career, best year ever.
Yeah.
And and he's been in the league for 7 or 8 years, but he's with this Belichick type defense, and he knows it very well, and he plays it very well.
Right.
So they could cause problems.
Well, their defense is good. I mean,
they get you to
forget their record. Their defense can play against anybody. The problem is they have trouble scoring points.
Yes.
And that
last in
is
the league in scoring.
that's the crux of their issues.
Yeah.
Yeah, defensively.
It's an offensive league. I mean,
Defensively, nothing has changed for them. They try to win on first and second down. They get exotic on third down, and all of a sudden you're off the field.
Right.
And the Bills experienced that in the meeting
the-
up
in the
there
first
back in
one,
week
yeah,
7.
yeah,
They couldn't
yeah.
get their offense out of neutral
Yeah.
until later in the game.
Yeah, and I think if we get on a fast start, I mean, if we're up 14-0, it changes the whole complex
Well,
of the game
right, because
because
now they gotta
now
throw it, yeah.
he's not going to throw it now, But it all falls on us. I think we got to have a fast start. We got to have a fast start. No turnovers. I think that's probably going to be the key. I think it's supposed to be
They had an
raining.
interception on the first play of the game the last time.
Yeah. Oh, whoa, was it?
First offensive play of the game. Yeah.
which was not the only time he did that.
Oh, so yeah,
Maybe not the first play of the game, but first series. he
Yeah, but
did
the Bills
twice.
are down 10-0 before they knew it.
Right.
you're at
up
home
in New England.
Crowd's going to be electric. Yeah,
It'll be a little bit different,
It'll be a little bit different
because of that
atmosphere, yeah.
atmosphere. But yeah, you can't turn it over.
you can't
I
turn
mean,
it over.
The Chargers, the turnovers in the Charger game were the difference. Josh had one. There were 2 others. So, and they escaped. I think
Yeah.
that's a much different game if they're even on the turnover margin. So
Correct.
we'll see and it's going to be the same story this weekend for
All right.
New
So,
England.
Thurm, each week, it's as I mentioned, it's been a different guy stepping up on offense. Whose turn is it this week, do you think, against the Patriots?
I don't know. I think it might be Steph.
Okay.
I think it might be Steph.
breakout week.
I think it might be his breakout week. Yeah.
All right.
I think it's going to be Steph. I think we've seen him the last 4 or 5 weeks, and it's always been somebody else.
Yeah. I mean, he's had a role. It just
He's had a
hasn't been
role.
the primary
It just hasn't
role.
been the primary role. So yeah, you know what? Maybe he's hurting a little. I don't. But they would put that on the injury report or whatever. But you know
Yeah.
what? Sometimes you go in these valleys, man. Sometimes. So I think Steph will come out. I think Steph
All right.
think he will have a great game.
I like that pick. I hope
Well,
you're right.
Yeah, I mean, for his season, he's got 96 catches for 1,070, and
2 games to
it's
play.
been it's been notable. His absence has been notable for like a month,
Yeah.
which is amazing. He's got 96 catches
96
for
catches.
1,070. I mean, you can't, when he disappears, he only has what did he have last week? 5 for 35 or something. That's a disappearing act.
Yeah.
He's got a guy on the other side of him who's disappeared completely, 0 for 0, like 3 times this year.
Right.
He's got
right.
no catches, no targets.
Yeah, I'm looking for Steph to break out.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's, yeah. You need
At home. Yeah. Exactly.
All right, Thurm, good to have you in. Good to see
Appreciate
you.
it.
Enjoy. You're going to the game, right, on Sunday?
Oh yeah, I'll be there.
I figured as much.
Oh yeah.
All right, so we'll see you out here on Sunday.
bring
That is the Hall of Famer,
bring
Thurman
you something,
Thomas, joining us here on One Bills Live, as he does on a weekly basis.